The MLB is back, and with that, we have free agency. We are starting up where we left off. Some big names have already signed. Clayton Kershaw already signed at the Dodgers, but today we're going to be talking about five big name guys that I think are going to sign with these teams. And starting off, we have Carlos Correa. I think Carlos is going to end up playing shortstop for the New York Yankees. I think this move just makes sense. I don't think the Yankees are going to be able to get Freddie Freeman. I actually don't want them to, but I think they'll recompensate and get Carlos Correa and fill the shortstop spot. I think they're also re-signing Anthony Rizzo, but this is mainly talking about Carlos Correa. Carlos has been a great shortstop for Houston as many years. And as we all know, they don't really get along well with the Yankees. But Carlos has that. He just has that. You can just see it the way he plays, his swagger, everything about him says he can handle New York. He loves being the villain, and that's what you are when you come to the Yankees. If you're a big name guy coming to the Yankees, you're usually the guy they don't like, everybody else in the league doesn't like, and he's the guy that Yankees fans don't like, but they will quickly soon to love. Similar, he reminds me a lot of A-Rod, just with his play style, with his attitude and everything. And I think he'll fit great in New York. I can see curtain calls for him. I can see fans adopting him well. I just think he fits in. He's a really good shortstop. He's a really good defender, really strong arm, something the Yankees have been missing, and he just does everything at the plate. People often talk about Yankee Stadium being helpful for left-handed hitters, but it's not much deeper than left field for right-handed hitters. He's going to put a lot of balls out, and he's going to do a lot of damage. He's going to help the Yankees get back to where they were, and hopefully win some championships for them. Number two, I have Freddie Freeman. I really hope he stays. I'm a big Freddie Freeman fan, and I can't see Freddie Freeman being anywhere that isn't in Atlanta. He's always been a Brave. He's meant to be a Brave. He's just been really good for them. He's really good for the city, and I think they're a really good team and have a good championship window. They already won one this year, and that was without Ronald Acuna Jr. They're likely going to move Jorge Soler because they don't have a spot for him with Acuna coming back, but they've got some good young pieces, and you got to keep Freddie Freeman because he's one of those guys that is just going to be good for a while. Like Joey Votto is still playing amazing baseball in his late 30s, and Freddie Freeman's a guy that's going to be doing the same thing when he gets to his late 30s. He's a guy that if he wants to, I could see him playing in his 40s. The only way I see Freddie Freeman retiring is because he wants to go and spend more time with his kid. I really don't see him ever retiring because of lack of performance. I think he's just a really good first baseman. He's got a really good swing, and I'd love to see him in New York with the short porch in right field. He could potentially end up in Boston if it goes that way. Hits a lot of bombs over the monster because he's got power to the opposite field. But I hope he stays in Atlanta. It makes sense to me. He's a Brave. He should be a Brave for life. He's one of those guys that it's not going to seem right if he's on a different team. Kind of the same way with Anthony Rizzo when he got traded. It took a while before I got comfortable seeing him as a Yankee. And with Freddie Freeman, it's not going to be right to me to see him in a different uniform, even if it is the uniform of the team I like. Number three, we have Trevor Story. He almost got traded at the deadline like a lot of guys, but stayed in Colorado, and it kind of hurt Colorado because I don't think they were signing him. I think he's going to go to the Dodgers. Dodgers lost Corey Seager. They got to fill that spot. Didn't get some of the other guys, some cheaper guys like Andrelton Simmons, but the Dodgers have no issue paying money. They've been damaged by Trevor Story and his abilities over the years against Colorado. So I think they know how good he is, and I think they'll pick him up and play shortstop. He's a really good shortstop, in my opinion. I wanted the Yankees to trade for him at the deadline, but I think he's going to stay West Coast. That's his area. I could see him going out to LA, taking over Corey Seager's role. Adam and all, they're ready that lineup, but I don't think they're too concerned. They're just trying to add the best players. They're going to get Trevor Bauer back as well, so the Dodgers will be competing like every year, and they're going to do it by signing big name free agent guys like they always do. At number four, I have Kris Bryant. Kris Bryant is one of the bigger name free agents just because of his versatility. Not many guys can play the outfield and third base. It's two positions that often aren't put together in terms of guys that can play multiple positions. And I think Kris Bryant's going to go to Philadelphia. Bryce Harper wants it. These two have been buds for a while now. And I think it'd be a great move for the Phillies. They're definitely going to be competing with the Mets in this one in terms of who's going to try to get him. The Mets were trying to get him at the deadline, didn't get it. And I think the Mets are going to get some guys, but not Kris Bryant. I can see him going to Philly. Just a good reunion with Bryce Harper. I think that'll be good for him. Bryce Harper's been playing really well, so the front office should give him what he wants because he was on a tear at the end of last season. And Philly needs an extra pieces to try to make that team good. They got Real Muto for a while. They got Harper for a while. All guys locked in a contract. Aaron Nola is a really good pitcher. Add Kris Bryant to the lineup, a guy that you can move to third, move to the outfield, depending on what else you do with the rest of your roster. And you're going to be in contention because that's a really good division. The Braves just won a championship. Juan Soto's still in Washington, so that team's still going to be solid. Miami is what it is, but the Mets are trying to win. So you got to compete with them in Atlanta really and stay relevant in that division, make consistent playoff runs. And last but not least, I have at number 5 Nicholas Castellanos, one of my favorite players to watch. He just got a really good swing, and I think a lot of teams should be interested in him. I think he's kind of forgotten about as a free agent, but this dude was really good, and he can hit a baseball. He was tearing it up towards the end of last season, and I think he's going to fit well in the San Diego Padres lineup. I think he's going to go to San Diego. I know San Diego and the Dodgers are pretty much in an arms race, just fighting for talent and fighting to pay guys as much as they can to get them to play for their team. And I think once the Padres see the Dodgers go out and get Trevor Story, they're going to be like, we got to make a move. And Nicholas Castellanos is that move. Tommy Pham and Nicholas Castellanos in your corner outfielders with maybe either Trent Grisham or Fernando Tatis in center. Who knows what they're going to do there? But just another bat that's going to hit balls off the warehouse out there in San Diego. They're just trying to match what the Dodgers do, and I think it's a great move. And I Castellanos, wherever he goes, he's going to hit the ball. That's what he does, and that's what he's going to continue to do. And that's going to wrap up my top 5 free agents and where I think they're going to go. So let me know what you think, and we'll see. We'll see in the coming couple of days, months, maybe before the season starts, where these guys are going to go. Coming days, coming weeks, and hopefully I'm right. But